do not know whether to trust the YouTube or not, but I'm just going to push the button. All right, I have pushed the button that starts the YouTube. I don't know whether I trust it, but we'll find out. Once upon a time, I was the king of the dial. I used to be a radio guy. What happened to me? I'm just another idiot with a pod.
Judge Bertrand is back on the bench. There are guilty verdicts from our producer inside. We're hearing guilty on 1 through 5. 1 through 12, we have now 13, 14 guilty. 15 guilty. We're up to 18 counts.
Can I hear 20?
Guilty. Remember, we have 34 here. 20 guilty.
Yes,
we are now
you got your
24
20.
counts in, all guilty. Up
Can
to
I hear
26 guilty. But we are now up to 31
That's from Fox
counts
News. I thought that would be
guilty out of
appropriate.
34, 32 guilty, also coming in from inside the courtroom. 33 and 34.
It's all
They're saying
rigged.
Guilty on all 34
Rigged.
charges. We have the
Rigged.
reality now of a former president for the first time being convicted on 34 criminal counts.
Hey, click here to subscribe to...
Our producers now saying
You will never find a more wretched hive of scum and villainy.
I think they're referring to us.
It's rigged.
I'm not sure who
It's
they're
all
referring
rigged.
to. So everything was
It's
working.
all a scam.
Everything was working perfectly, but I forgot that I had turned on the YouTube on my browser with the audio up.
Oh, man.
And so when the show started, the latency of the YouTube came in. Oh, well. Otherwise, it was going to be perfect. I only need a few more weeks.
It was going to be perfect. It could have been a contender. It was going to be
It's
perfect.
going to be perfect.
Don't you always hate that when you start your radio show and you screw up in the first 2 minutes and you're like, man, it was going to be a perfect show. Now it's all down the tubes,
Yep.
all out the window.
Yep.
Can't be perfect. Till next time.
From the studio in the bonus room above the garage on the north side of Fort Mill, South Carolina, in the shadow of Charlotte, the foot of Mount Belzoni, the buckle of the Bible Belt. I'm the older brother. I'm Gary.
And from the attic studio under the new $25,000 roof in the cul-de-sac.
Has the roof proved itself? Has it kept you dry in the rain?
Been raining a lot. And let's see, what else? Home birthplace of Hell 9000.
Birthplace. You almost got it right there.
Whatever.
Hell 9000. Yes.
Nicely mown lawn. My son-in-law took care of that yesterday.
You got the kids working for you.
Yeah, the kids are working.
Taking pity on the old
Yeah, I got the sympathy lawn mow.
cancer-laden man.
It's fun to watch him mow the lawn. Oh, I'm the younger brother, Jay. It's fun to watch him mow the lawn because normally...
Wait. And the show is Sleepy Jay and Gary's Guilty Pleasure.
I like it.
I don't know if that is to be read as it is both of our guilty pleasure, or it's A, Sleepy Jay, and B, Gary's guilty pleasure. I don't know which of those applies.
I don't know. Well, I'm not sleepy right now because my wife won't let me take my next pain pill until 10:45. So she said we have to take a break at 10:45 so I can take my pain pill that makes me sleepy. She wouldn't let me take it early. She doesn't want me getting off on them.
Okay, I understand. Before we get into anything else, we have some old business to attend to.
Well, first, my son-in-law mowed the lawn, which was awesome because the way he mows the lawn, he's like a mechanic, and he does other things with his job. Very high-end computerized farm equipment.
This is Corey.
Yeah, what he works with.
I'm getting the family tree down.
Corey Lilly. And so he's also a mechanic in with that. And so he said, your lawnmower runs too slow because he runs. He literally runs when he mows the lawn. I'm serious, man. He sprints when he mows the lawn. So he has to have it running faster.
Young kids.
So he spent the first 15 minutes we were out there, and he was balancing the governor to get it up to the exact right speed. So he does.
Binford
like a scientist.
3000 lawnmower.
Yeah. Anyway, so he got it running really well, and he mowed the lawn in it usually takes me 2 hours. Took him 20 minutes.
Yeah.
He gets a workout.
He mows the lawn like you shower. You sent me a text. It's 20 minutes till showtime. You say, I'm getting in the shower. If it was me, then an hour later, I'd be ready to do the show. And then 3 minutes later, you say, I'm done. And I'm saying the water wouldn't have even warmed up yet.
Well, I'll come fix your plumbing. This is from years and years and decades of having to be at work at 4 o'clock in the morning. You don't have time to luxuriate in the spa before you go to work.
I guess if you want to sleep in. When I did the morning show, I was up. I didn't start getting paid until we went on the air. Well, I wasn't being paid by the hour. I was being paid by the whatever. And so, we didn't fill out time cards or anything. I just got the same amount of money no matter how much I worked. And I worked a lot of overtime. But we would go on the air at 6. It was a daytime station. The FM was on all night, but it was automated, so nobody cared. We went on the air at 6. We went on the air at 5:59 and 50 seconds, 10 seconds of illegal early transmission so that I could get in an ID before we started the news.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. So I would get to the station at 5 because I was paranoid about getting everything ready, which meant I got up at about 3:30. And now I'm in the shower and I'm doing a vocal warm-up. I was doing that before this show, but if you had logged on 10 minutes earlier, you would have heard it.
Oh, man.
I'm in the shower. I'm in an apartment building, and I'm worried, but apparently not enough, about what the people next apartment can hear as I'm going, la, 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 la.
Oh, I did that.
La, 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 la. La, 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 la.
Yo, 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 yo.
Me.
Yo, 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 yo,
la, 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 la. Goodbye, audience. Goodbye. Thank you for tuning in. Goodbye. Yeah.
Yeah, all of those.
Now you sound like Sheldon trying to find the right spot in the movie theater.
That's right. And then on the way to work, I would sing the national anthem.
What are you eating?
A peach. Almond Brothers eat a peach.
Show me the peach as a bud. Because there's down here in South Carolina in the town of Gaffney along Interstate 85, they have a water tank that's painted like a peach, but they put the curve of the indentation of it right facing the highway, so it looks like Gaffney is kind of mooning everybody with their butt. There you go. All right, you proceed to eat on the air. That's just fine.
I know, it's my podcast. Well, half of it. I'll eat on my half. You do whatever you want on your half.
Yeah, like I said, we have some unfinished business to take care of. Remember we were talking about this?
Mm-hmm.
This was the Bruce Springsteen, Dolly Parton 45 RPM version of I'm on Fire. And does it sound like Dolly Parton? Well, let's see.
Hey, little girl, is your daddy home? Did he go and leave you all?
What do you think?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Got a bad desire.
Yeah.
And by the way, did you like the way I talked up the post on that one?
Yeah, you talked her right
Tell
up.
me now, baby, is it good to you? And can he do to you the things that I do?
And now some people out there in the audience, may be saying, well, yeah, that's close, but I don't.
Oh, it's close enough.
Don't quite. Oh, no. Oh, no. It's dead on. It is dead on.
Yeah, it is. It is. It's there. But you have some really weirdos on your Facebook page.
I do?
Yeah, you got some real weirdos. That one guy, I'm not going to say his name, but you can go to Gary's Facebook page and friend him, and you can see what I'm talking about.
It's totally public. Anybody can see it.
There are a couple of them on there that are just, oh my God. What did Trump actually send them a check that cashed or what? What are these people? Do you know these people?
Some of them.
God.
As we have discussed, I have almost 2,000 Facebook friends. Most of them come from my fame and glory of ham radio. And so a lot of them are conservative.
Why?
And a lot of hams are. Why are they conservative?
I mean, what makes a ham any more likely to be a conservative than somebody else?
Overall, I don't think they are.
Oh.
But my observation of ham radio from the 60 or so years that I've been a licensed ham is that when Rush Limbaugh appeared on the radio, across the fruited and nutted plain, he loosened a lot of tongues from ham radio operators who thought they might enjoy being little mini Rushes. And so they started expressing their political opinions on the ham radio to the one or two people who might be listening to them at the time.
Yeah.
How's my Rush?
Yeah.
Almost as good as Bruce Springsteen's Dolly Parton?
No, not quite as good. One hand tied behind your back. Talent on loan from God.
With half my brain tied behind my back. The other half shoved firmly up my ass.
If he had half a brain, it'd be lonely.
Anyway, so they have...
Actually, I have to take that back.
They started...
Rush Limbaugh was a genius. He made millions of dollars off of people like the people who are Trump's making millions off of. Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah. It loosened their tongues a bit. And
so they could wag.
Yeah, the middle of the road, the hams, like most people who don't really have strong political opinions, or the ones that have progressive opinions, they don't tend to express them on the radio or on Facebook very much.
That's a problem.
Yeah. So maybe you're getting a small sample. You're getting one or two guys that have gone off the deep end. And when I posted, I believe what I posted on my Facebook page was guilty.
Yeah.
And
so what is it? What does it even mean that you something about your car?
Oh, these guys, their written English is poor.
It's terrible.
Yes, it's an indictment of the American public education system.
No, or something.
Plus, irrelevant to that, but relevant to Facebook posts and probably even more on younger social media. What is it with everybody who posts a long stream of letters and words, but no capitals and no punctuation? I mean,
that's kids. I'll tell you what that is. That's kids. That started with kids that are older now. Back when you had the keyboards that you had to hit a certain key like 2 or 3 times, to get to the.
Oh, on the old feature, what they call a feature phone.
Yeah.
They're still doing it like this, but
yeah. And to be able to do it without having to stop and find, shift and this and that, it was to economize on the sheer number of times you had to push a key just to get the right letters on there.
Because people started getting repetitive motion injuries on their thumbs.
Oh, my kids. Oh, my God. You couldn't even see their thumbs. They just flew when they were typing.
And even on the modern phones. With the keyboard on the phone, they can do that. I have attempted.
Oh yeah, they just go faster
to learn
now.
How to type with 2 thumbs, and it is. I can do it. It's not really any faster, and it is more error prone because my thumbs aren't huge. I've got I think normal sized thumbs. Trump could probably do it real well with his tiny hands.
Yeah, he
might not even be able to reach the middle of some of the bigger phones, though.
He can even change headlights in a foreign car. You ever tried to change a headlight in a...
I can't do it on an American car. You rent a car, and you spend the first 30 minutes trying to figure out how this car works. Back in my day, get off the lawn. Back in my day, you had the same controls on every car. You had a radio. It had a volume control on the left-hand side and a tuning control on the right and 5 buttons across the middle, and you pushed them and got your favorite radio station. I don't know who I'm doing an impression of there.
I don't know what that is. Yeah, get off my lawn.
You had a little button by your left foot that turned on the headlights. That gave you the high beam.
Yeah. radio heater white walls. That's what you got.
My car
And a
has
push button.
My car has cruise control and a steering wheel.
I had a
Actually,
my car's got everything.
The amazing thing, your new one, yeah. The amazing thing about it is at 17 years old and 230,000 miles, the little light just went on telling me it's time for an oil change.
Wow.
The power steering still works. The power windows still all work. Remember, the windows were the first thing to go out in a car. You know, you got 10,000 miles, and now the windows wouldn't go up and down anymore. So you didn't want power windows. And the air conditioning still works.
Put them back on track or change the regulator.
Well, you know how to do these things because you worked at a gas station.
I learned how on that Buick.
A fine example of American engineering. Yeah.
That thing was awful, but the engine was bulletproof. I spent thousands of dollars. That was with me doing the work. I can't even imagine how much it would have cost if I'd had it done.
You got the car for free, and it was worth every penny.
Yeah, that's right. I got the car for free, and I still. Where did all those things? It looks like the car was whipped. Where did all that come from? It looks like you took it through a car wash with steel wool instead of chamois brushes.
Oh, the paint job.
Yeah,
the body. I never noticed that, and I have no idea. I didn't watch it very often.
Yeah. It could have just been grit that built up. And then I washed it, and it was like, whoa.
Yeah.
What's that? It's going to fall apart. I had a boss one time who had a Chevy Citation, and the thing was so rusted out, he held it together with Cubs bumper stickers. True story.
Those, apparently those were strong enough. You'd think they'd do duct tape.
I did. I learned a trick one time before I really knew what I was doing on a house, and I was practicing on a house I owned. And Sarah was born, and we had to get the nursery ready, the second bedroom. And so I had to paint it, but there were some places where the paint had chipped, and other little things like that. And I learned that you could use masking tape to really quickly do that, and then paint over it real fast. Plug all the little imperfections. And it looked good for a while till the adhesive gave out. But, then we got the house ready to sell and did that again. But that was a cool house. I think we bought it in 1992 or 3 for like $22,000 and sold it 5 years later for $45,000 or something. That was the early house boom. So that was a good deal.
You're making young wannabe homeowners to cry.
I know. My kids just bought a house. Other kids, one set of the kids.
This is up in Elgin.
Yeah, like $270,000 buying their first home.
Yeah, that is still way below the national average.
God, that's like way more than the house we just sold in Rock Island was. And that was a nice house. And we sold it for a lot more than we bought it for. It's crazy. It's crazy out there, I tell you.
Elgin, a burgeoning suburb. It was pretty far out for Chicago at the time when I lived there.
But so this whole area has grown up around it, these little areas, and I'm trying to think the town they live in, they're moving to is Pingtree Grove. And it's some guy named Pingtree, some family back in the 1800s. They settled this, and they were like, a couple of hundred people living there forever. And then all of a sudden, 20 years ago, maybe, it's near Huntley and these other little towns that were, like maybe a railroad station and a farm grain elevator. And now all of a sudden they're like, hand over fist, they're putting in these really nice communities in there. And so I think it's called Pingtree Grove. And so it went from hundreds to thousands to 20,000 now or something. It's like doubled in the last 20 years or something. But it's beautiful.
There's Ping Tree Grove.
Yeah, it looks like it. So
We'll
it's
zoom out
beautiful,
and see
though.
where it really is. Okay, it's a
So
little bit.
Elgin should be to the right, 20 miles.
Not even seeing Elgin, and I should.
Yeah,
Our friend Bob lives out in Hampshire.
we'll go out a little bit and see. Where even is Elgin? It disappeared.
Elgin has been wiped off of the map of Illinois. Yeah, it should be. Oh, there it is. Yeah. Okay. So there's Elgin. It's just not standing out as
Oh, yeah, okay.
big town. So yeah, it's not even like hard on the side of Elgin, and it looks like there's some empty land out there. Yeah, there's some farm territory.
Oh, it'll be developed. But they live in this beautiful, they're going to live in this beautiful community, with a pool and HOA, so they don't have to do any of the, it's a townhouse condo thing. And they don't have to do the lawn on any of the outside. And so
That's another Cracker Box Acres, like we live in.
yeah, and it's about 8 or 10 years old. So, it's had time to break
Some of
in.
these trees have grown up a little bit.
Yeah. But they get the gym, they get the pool, they get the clubhouse, the steam room, and all that cool stuff.
Yep. This isn't necessarily their neighborhood, but it's just one
Yeah.
of a
It's
few
like
out
that,
there.
Yeah. Some really good restaurants that I'm looking forward to. I'm
Where-
a big
where does-
brunch person, so
Does Corey get to work from home?
that's Cody.
Cody. I'm working on it. I'm working on the family tree. I'm old.
So we got a Cody and we got a Corey. And then and a Katie.
we do have both.
And a Katie.
Great. Sorry, kids.
3 different families.
Old Uncle Gare's got a bad memory for names.
So Cody will work in Elgin. He was promoted up from here. He works for i3 Broadband, which is one of the fiber companies that's really expanding here. And he manages the expansion of the fiber lines. And so
Are they
he's
building
going
that
up there to
for themselves? Or are they their own company, or do they build it for other people?
It's their own company, i3, yeah. So I'm coming to you over i3 Broadband.
Whoa.
And so
So we're slamming
So-
each other with fiber here because I'm on Concorium fiber. I'm on a 600 megabit symmetrical fiber line here.
whatever.
Boom.
Anyway, I'm in whatever he installed here. And so, yeah, so we got that
You can't
going
just
on.
install fiber.
Well, it's installed. I don't know what it is. What do you
I mean,
do?
it's got to come from some, the central office.
That's in Peoria for
where
here.
Mabel works.
That's in Peoria for
What-
here.
I thought you understood technology.
Well, what am I not getting?
That you can't just put fiber in your own house. You have to have fiber coming down the
Right.
street.
And that's what he manages.
Okay,
putting
so
the fiber down the street.
So the fiber that comes down your street
project.
is his company's fiber.
yeah.
Okay.
And then it goes up to the side wall and pokes a hole through the wall and connects to a little router inside, and we get it around the house.
Yep. I'm looking at
But so his company is the one that digs the trenches and puts the fiber in all along. And I don't honestly know. Do all the companies do their own, or do they share a backbone line, or what they do? But
I imagine most of them have contract out the installation.
yeah, because you wouldn't think that they were all. Although I don't know. Never know.
The smart way to do it, but the way the Republicans won't let towns do it,
What?
is for the town.
Yeah, municipal.
Yeah, the town to own the fiber and lease it out to multiple providers. And so you
They
could,
tried to do that here.
but the Republicans wouldn't let them.
No. Unfair competition. Not.
Do I need to bring up some Allman Brothers in the background here?
Sure.
I don't know if the Allman Brothers will let me.
Everybody in high school, college, had that crate. The fruit crate thing that they kept the records in with the Allman Brothers Eat a Peach album cover on it.
I don't know if that's a takedown or not.
You go.
I suppose we'll find out. Takes me a moment. I'm trying to get a better. I'm working on the computer over here face. The one I don't like is. I want to at least keep my mouth closed. Look like I'm concentrating.
Mouth breather. So the whole Eat a Peach thing was a huge.
Now, Eat a Peach is an album, not a song.
Yeah, right.
So I can't play Eat a Peach.
Oh, and you can play.
Is that one song?
No, you can play. I mean, it's a double album.
Oh, damn.
And the reason it was such a big thing back in the 70s and into college was because it was a double album that you could, yeah.
You got to keep talking or we're going to get a takedown.
Oh, okay. So anyway, you could open it up as a double album and you could clean your pot in it. And you just, flake it around and the seeds go into the crease, and then you pick the good stuff out and then you dump the seeds, right? So
I don't like that particular song.
Well, so this one had the song Melissa in it.
I like that.
Sweet Melissa, which is my wife's name. But, yeah, there went, I'm not sure. There was one side that was, I don't know. It had that whole big jam, and then I think the biggest song from it.
Yeah, Mountain Jam, a 30-minute song.
Yeah,
they were asking me at the dentist. You could play some music while they were pulling my tooth out.
And you wanted that?
Well, no. I actually, because I came prepared with my own earbuds. ASMR from Jay eating this peach.
Sorry.
Okay.
Got a little carried away.
Put some background music in here. This will be an instrumental. They won't start singing. And I'm keeping an eye on our feed just to see if
Jessica.
I'm getting the takedown from YouTube. So
One Way Out was the big song for me to Peach, I think, that everybody, besides Melissa.
The Mountain Jam was a 30-minute instrumental. And at the dentist, they said, well, what's your favorite song? What's your favorite song? Some people might be able to say a favorite song. I can't. Love too many. But they said, we will add it to our Spotify playlist that we play when people say they'd like some music going on. And I said, well, I'm not sure I can state a favorite song, but I can tell you the song that when they say, if you could only have one song, if you're marooned on a desert island and you could only have one song, what would it be? And for me, it would be Allman Brothers Mountain Jam.
Oh, okay.
Because
good choice.
It's, let me dial that up here. Because it's 30 minutes long.
Stand by, Gary's dialing up Mountain Jam by the Allman Brothers. We're going to play it right here on Classic Rock 109.
I'm in the middle of it, apparently. I must have played this before.
Well, I think it continues. Doesn't it continue over one side? And
these days we don't have sides.
Right? Yeah.
It's 33 minutes long. 33 minutes and 43 seconds. But it is. But it goes through so many changes. It's like listening to 10 different songs.
Yeah, it is.
Because it's jazz and it's instrumental. Nobody's singing. And it's based on the stupid little. First there was a mountain, then there was no mountain, then there was. First there is a mountain. Yep. And so they take that little ditty and they go nuts. And like any good jazz, they play the melody for a bit, and then they start riffing off of it, and they go so far
come
afield.
back to it. Yeah.
And then in the last 30 seconds, they come back to the melody.
Yeah.
So,
So anyway, there was that, and One Way Out was one of the big song, was probably the big song off that. And anyway, so Eat a Peach, yeah.
One
That's
Way
the
Out.
big one.
I'm unfamiliar with that, and now I've got to find that.
Well, now you got to play a little of that. So
Well, YouTube says it exists. You want the live version?
there's a man down there, might be your man, I don't know.
Oh, I know that song. And they're at the Fillmore.
The famous Fillmore concert.
1971. Jay, what were you doing in 1971?
Trying to make it through high school alive.
I was out of high school. I was,
Yeah, you left me alone at home with our parents.
yeah, sorry about that.
Yeah.
I believe I was just
Thanks a lot.
starting college at Loyola University of Chicago and learning how to be a broadcaster, Jay. Oh, yeah, I know the song. I just didn't. There's a lot of songs like that where I know the song.
Yeah.
I just don't know what the title was.
Right.
I did that one day on my radio show on Loyola University's carrier current station, WLUC. We had hundreds and hundreds of 45 RPM records because for some reason the record promoters considered us to be a real radio station. I guess I should have recognized it from the vocal, I guess. So we had they were scattered all over the place. And so
Yeah.
I thought, audience, what I'm going to do here is just stick these records on and show you all the crap that we get in here at the radio station. And every once in a while, I would stick something on that I didn't recognize from the title, but it was a famous song. But most of them were the crap.
You were kind of geeky back then.
Oh, damn. Still am, but
You wore the same clothes every day.
I did not.
Yeah, you did. You had some like goldish corduroy pants. Most of the cord was gone, so you know, the whale or whatever they call it was rubbed off, and then you had this red, black, and white sweater. This kind of, I think it was red sweater with black and white interwoven stripes on them, and then a pair of hush puppies. You wore hush puppies.
I did.
You see? Fess up to it. Own it.
Ladies and
And I
gentlemen,
think,
you're
you know,
in the dump on the older brother portion of the program.
And then you had this little dinky ass bathroom off your it was over the garage.
Off the bedroom. Yeah, it was a half bath.
Yeah, over the garage.
That's what they call a half bath.
And it had one little clothing rack on the side, one little pipe, you know, that would hold your clothes. And you had like, I think maybe 2 pairs of those pants, 2 sweaters. That was about it. And then you had the booger wall.
That was
remember the booger wall?
while I was in high school, not while I was in college.
Oh,
At that college point, I was married. I was living in
that's right.
Rogers Park.
Rogers Park.
Yeah, notice I'm pushing you away from the booger wall.
Gary had a booger wall. It was like the Wonder Wall.
You pick
or
them,
the Wailing
and
Wall.
you don't want to just throw them
the
away.
booger wall.
You don't
It
want
was
to just
like-
throw them away.
It was like the what's that one in
Is it
Seattle where they put stuff? You
Time to
stick
take
stuff
your
up.
pills now,
Chewing
isn't it?
gum wall. No, I got 10 more
Does
minutes.
your chewing gum lose its flavor on the bedpost overnight?
Do your boogers lose their flavor on the wall overnight? And it was nice tongue and groove pine paneling too. So
Yeah, the bedroom I had was totally different architecture. Well, style. What's the word I'm looking for? How
it
you?
was different decor than the rest of the house.
Yeah, decor.
It didn't fit in with
Yeah,
the
it
house.
had nothing to do with the rest of the house. No, did I notice that? No. I mean, I knew it was different, but did I think that was odd?
Well,
No.
It would make a really cool den.
Yeah,
And
maybe
I
that
don't
was
know
what
either.
the previous owners.
Well, it had those built-in bookcases. It was really nice.
It was probably a
It
den
was-
for somebody before we made it. A
It
bedroom.
was. You should have been sitting up there with your sweater, with your leather patches on the suede patches on the elbow, smoking a pipe.
Too young for that.
Yeah. But it was a very cool room. I don't know why you got it, but you did.
Because because, well, notice I'm the older brother.
I guess. And there were like 2 steps down to it.
Because it was over the garage. It was the bonus room over the garage on the north side on the pretty much central Winnetka.
Yeah.
Built-
and then there was
Built at the time over the previous Winnetka landfill.
yeah, it was actually pretty much western Winnetka. Right.
Yeah, western. Yeah, the
Central
farther
Winnetka would have been the railroad tracks.
Yeah, that's true. The farther west you got, the cheaper things got.
Mm-hmm.
So, which meant we could barely afford to live there, apparently.
Except when you got another couple of blocks west of us and south of Willow Road got expensive again. Auburn and Euclid, those streets, they were expensive again.
There was
The
there was a mystery area of Winnetka south of where we lived on Willow Road that the character change. Yeah, the character change. It got like older.
Yeah, it did. And it was older north of us.
And
so we lived in a little strip that was newer for some reason.
And where we lived, the streets were laid out in a grid. North, south, east, west, standard block grid. Go a little south and they got windy and twisty and stuff. And then it turned out my paper route was down there.
Yeah, mine was too.
So
my paper route was similar to yours, only it was morning and yours was afternoon.
Yeah, I delivered the Chicago Sun-Times and the Chicago American.
No, you would have been the Daily News in the American. I was the Sun-Times and the Tribune in the morning.
Was there a Daily News?
Yeah.
I thought the Sun-Times was an afternoon paper.
No, it was morning. The Daily News was the afternoon.
Okay. Could be.
Field Enterprises, Marshall Fielding Company.
Chicago. I'm doing it again, aren't I? Wikipedia, Chicago Daily News was an afternoon newspaper in the Midwestern United States, published between 1875 and 1978. So, yeah, there we go.
Yeah. Yep. And then, remember Chicago Today?
Barely. Google wants to tell me to see a simplified version of this page. Here's the page.
So Chicago Today succeeded.
Simplified view of this page. Go to More Tools or Reading Mode. Do I have it? Got it. I don't know where More Tools are.
Oh. So the Sun-Times was the tabloid style layout, not that it was a tabloid paper, and the Tribune was the
easy to
broadsheet.
read on the train.
Yeah, and the
they
Tribune
said.
was the standard broadsheet, but it had many more subscribers. It didn't have like 100.
Mike Royko.
Yeah, it had like a 100, but the Sun-Times had Irv Cups in it, so you'd have like 100 subscribers to the Tribune and 4 to the Sun-Times. And the same thing with the afternoon. The Daily American was like 4 subscribers.
Yeah, that's true.
The Daily News was like
on
100.
the rack on the front of my bike. It was full of Sun-Times and a little bit on the side.
Daily
for the American.
News. Not sometimes. Sometimes was morning. Do you not pay attention to this show? Do you not listen to this show?
I listen, but I don't retain. I pay no attention. Pay no attention to the show you're listening to.
So Charlotte celebrated her 1-month anniversary yesterday. We need to have Dale back on to talk about being a new dad. So
Charlotte is
your grandniece.
grandniece.
Moron.
No, I know.
God.
I'm just giving you. I'm leaving you the opportunity to fill in the audience.
Yeah.
With the audience is all of your relatives anyway, so they already pretty much know this.
We got one new subscriber yesterday.
Yeah, we're up to like 24.
Yeah.
And is anybody watching us live? No one has sent a message. There's one watching, but I believe that's me.
The new subscriber is a recently retired member of the President's Own Marine Band, clarinetist. So
Another one of your friends.
yeah,
All right. Way to go.
he was here yesterday visiting, and so
I'm on a Reddit group for podcasters. And they're a frequent thread is, how do I build up my podcast? Or I'm just getting started. And as people keep saying, the only people going to be watching your podcast for the first year are your friends and family.
Mm-hmm. So
and even they are going to get
first year.
Even they are going to get tired of it.
So we just keep going and we keep putting it out there and, keep promoting it. Find new ways to promote it.
Not so much a
wear people
podcast
down.
as therapy for Jay.
It is therapy for me and you. I was telling our friend John, who was here, that he thought it was really cool that it was therapy for us getting back together as brothers who hadn't. And then all of a sudden, you get cancer and I get cancer, and so now we're like the cancer brothers. That brings us together. So we got more in common than we did, but we were working our way through that as therapy of, wow, what a crazy family. And then I got, going through the reasons why that all happened. But I had an interesting call yesterday from somebody who I could barely understand, and there was a lot of noise in the background. And they were looking for our other brother. And I asked, well, who is this?
Good luck with that.
And they were like, have you had recent contact with, or do you know how to get contact with Andrew L. Pierce? And I said, well, who is this? And my wife's going, just hang up on him. Just hang up on him.
Way too fascinating.
Scammer. Hang up on him. And I was like, no, I want to find out who they are. Because maybe they know, So anyway, it was a finance company looking to collect some kind of bill. Some money.
There was no money in this for us.
No.
Somebody, that's, the only thing that would be really interesting about that is if the debt was fairly recent.
Well, that's what I was.
It's got to be more than 20 years old now.
Yeah, and that's what I was trying to get to. Is how recent was this? Yeah. What is it? And they wouldn't go any farther if I wasn't Andrew L. Pierce. Are you Andrew L. Pierce? I should have said yes.
Should have said yeah.
But I didn't. I wasn't thinking fast enough. So I'm into the pain.
Of course, then
period.
if you had said that you were, then they would have attached their claim to your whatever your income sources are.
That's what I'm afraid of. So I'm into the pain period now. This is not good.
This minute, or general days.
Last couple of days and nights.
Yeah. Okay. So we transitioned the show to how Jay is doing, which was what everybody's tuned in for anyway.
Yeah. So it's the pain period now, which I didn't really expect. I thought I'd get pain and nausea while I was doing chemo, but I'm not into chemo yet. Tuesday, I see an endocrinologist to see what's going on with my thyroid, and then Thursday, I get my port installed. Any port in a storm. So they'll put that in here so they can just, put the chemo in.
Yep.
And you were describing this last time.
Yeah, there's still a little layer of skin that goes over the port. And so they still will numb that so that when they stick the needle in, you don't feel it. So when I went in for the infusions, the first step was to go into the port preparation. They stick the needle in, they flush the port, and then you're ready to go. And they put the lines in. So you got hoses stuck into you. I barely remember this part. And then you go down to the infusion area. So. But that's so they don't have to get a big line into a vein in your arm or something every time.
Collapse it all every time.
Yeah, which would be a pain.
So put the needle in the port. Put the needle in the port. Pump up the chemo. Pump up the chemo. Boom, boom, boom.
Jay's scatting to infusion.
That was a song.
What?
Put the needle on the record. Pump up the volume. It was a dancing song back at the Double Cuckoos in the 80s.
Let me just hang my mouth
Video
open.
Dance Club.
Hang my mouth open. Well, I'm typing.
Look up Pump Up the Volume. I don't know.
I
if
got
that's
Pump Up
name
the
of song.
Jam.
Yeah, that's it.
No,
Is it?
there's a Pump Up the Volume.
No, that's Pump Up the Jam. Pump Up the Jam. No, it's Pump Up the Volume's different. Yeah. Yeah, that sounds right.
That's right. This has got to be the greatest record of the year. Pump up the volume, pump up the volume, pump up the volume. Check it out.
I have no idea what the pictures are all
Put
about.
needle on the record. That's Barney Fife in space.
Barney Fife in space.
Oh, you know, the astronaut movie that Don Knotts did.
Oh, did not remember an astronaut movie with Don Knotts.
Pump up the volume,
What was it called? It was
pump up the volume,
The Reluctant Astronaut.
That
pump up the volume,
There it is.
Yeah,
pump up the volume.
vaguely young Don Knotts. All right, that should be enough to get us a takedown or at least a monetization of some kind.
Put the needle on the record. Yeah, so anyway, can you believe that I was dancing to that? I used to dance to that stuff. My friend Margie and I would dance to that at the Cuckoo's Video Dance Club in the SI Bowl. The Double Coup. A bunch of us used to go there. It was
The
fun.
Reluctant
It was like the last
Dragon,
disco.
the Reluctant Heroes, the Reluctant Traveler, the Reluctant Fundamentalist, the Reluctant Saint, the Reluctant Astronaut.
With Don Knotts.
There's a music. Oh, I turned the volume down. Sure enough, Afraid
Hey,
of
this
Heights.
could be it. This would be a good theme song for our show.
Yes, it would be a little too expensive. But, yeah. You don't like the theme song we got?
No, I like the theme song we got. So I found that thing. I was trying to.
You don't have to stop.
I was
It's called
trying
a
to.
bed.
I was trying to.
Gary explains show business to Jay.
I was trying to. Who just retired out of it very successfully after 50 years. So I was trying to, and I'm almost done. I have 2 things left to do, and then I'll be fully retired. So
Yeah, you're still doing the Illinois Retired Broadcasters Association. PBC. IPBC.
yes,
By the way, I revised this bed music because there was a part of it I didn't like. And I cut that out and extended it so it can last a long time now. Mm-hmm. Not the whole show. There's radio shows and other medium where they just have a kind of a bed going underneath the whole thing. I guess that keeps people more interested.
they're called public radio pledge drives. I used to edit these things together, just continuous music, 3.5 minutes worth, and not just for the pledge drives, but just for the breaks in the morning edition. All things considered, where you got 90 seconds, and you don't want to just be talking over dryness. You want to have something going.
So here we go. I can just keep running this back. This will get old, though. Let's just fade it out. Fade it out.
So where were we before we got into that?
I do not remember.
Yeah.
I could go back to the YouTube and play it back.
Oh, Dancing at Cuckoo's. Well, we
And
got
Reluctant
done with
Astronaut.
that. Reluctant Astronaut, Dancing at Cuckoo's. I don't know. I brought you to Cuckoo's one time. You came to Cuckoo's when you were down visiting one time.
Was it the strip club?
No, that was Doomerocks. That's right. You went to Doomerocks too.
Yeah.
That's right. I can't remember. Yeah, we took you to the Rock. So I think your amazement was that I knew so many girls.
I'm still amazed at that.
I think you made that comment. I can't believe you know this many girls.
I married the first girl who held my hand. Didn't work real well. I mean, we were married for 7 years, but I didn't learn how to do this stuff until I was in my 40s. Then I got a little better at it.
And I was damn near almost 50 by the time I got married for the third time, which is stuck. You just keep throwing the spaghetti noodle on the wall, and when it sticks, and it really has. Melissa is awesome, and she is an awesome caretaker who probably is going to yell up here in a minute. Well, yell at each other around the house.
45 was your pill time.
Well,
do you need to go get it?
No, we don't yell at each other through the house. We just text each other.
Okay, because if you need to go get it. She can't bring it upstairs.
Right.
She could throw it.
She could, but then it would get stuck in the carpet somewhere, and we wouldn't have it.
Well, you put it in something.
Oh,
she's not. She is not the one person watching the show live. She really should be. Neither is
but
Cindy.
She never listened to me on the radio either.
Yeah, neither is Cindy. Cindy is out in Utah.
Yeah, you put her on a plane yesterday.
Best Friends Animal Sanctuary.
You guys are so good.
We're okay. She is.
No, you guys are great.
She is scooping
wonderful.
poop, cleaning rooms, petting cats. Her favorite room. They have multiple buildings with cats, and they separate them in some extent by different things that cats need to be separated by. Some of it is communicable diseases and things. Mm-hmm. The building that she is favoring, I don't know if they gave her this building. She was going early so she could get it because there's a competition among volunteers for the different buildings.
Wow!
It's the building where the cats are have some physical impairment, incontinence, or usually limbs that don't work. And that can lead to incontinence, which means that as you plop them on your lap and pet them, you put a couple layers of towels in between because they're going to pee on you.
Yeah.
And that's the room, that's the building that people are competing to volunteer in. That gives you a little bit of heart about some of the American people out there.
It does. Because that wouldn't be the...
Plus 12 average New Yorkers. You hear it for the average New Yorkers on the jury.
You would think that...
Who I understand now are being doxxed like crazy by the crazy Republicans.
Whatever.
It's not making the news, but it's making the background.
So, yeah. I always had said that people willing to do, the hard jobs, not just the cake jobs where they get credit. Oh, I went out and pet a cat for an hour a day for a week. I'm wonderful. But the ones who go out and do the real work are just the heroes. Now, and I'm just going to give you guys, you guys have, for people who missed the first 15 episodes of this, you guys have raised blind cats.
This is 12 episodes, but who's counting?
I was close. Blind cat. It's more than I thought. I thought it was 10.
Which one of us is paying attention to the show now, Jay?
I know, right? So you've raised blind cats. You've taken care of feral cats. You just, and
we do that because we don't like people very much.
Well, that's okay.
Because there's a lot of people that need tending too.
Cats benefit. Well, yeah, and some of them are on your Facebook page. And you're out on the East Coast to begin with, taking care of aging parents. And, which I could have done, I suppose, but didn't. But you did, out of our family, took care of Dad, and now you're taking care of the step
I was very footloose, and I needed somewhere to go, and that was a place to go.
Oh. And I'm sitting here building you up and all this, and you're going, you were just leeching off him?
Oh, no. I needed a place in the country to go. And it could have been a couple other places. I applied for that radio job in Crozet, Virginia. just out of Charlottesville, and got an offer up there to be the morning. I could be the morning man spinning country music or video editing, where I was going to make. Turns out it was about double, not triple, like I said the other day.
Yeah.
Double was a living wage. Half that was poverty. So
You could have come out and worked for me. You never asked me for a job.
missed a bet. Should have.
And then you could be taking care of me now instead of our step monster.
Yeah.
I could explain that, but I won't.
Step
Because
monster.
you're nice to her. You're nice to her. She doesn't like me.
Oh, the step monster. I'm not taking care of her, but we're talking about our stepmother, who is just turned 104, but has been deep in dementia for 5-6 years. And when she had her wits about her,
hated me.
rejected Jay
Totally.
and your family. No, she liked Dale.
She liked Dale. She liked my ex-wife, Dale's mom.
Yeah, and probably that divorce or whatever was what turned her off. I don't know.
Like she should talk like she wasn't divorced. Well, on her second marriage.
Yeah. Yeah.
I guess her
Yeah,
husband dying
your
wasn't a
husband died.
divorce.
No, it wasn't. It's not a divorce.
But Dad was divorced.
Yep.
How come she liked him?
You're putting things together just a little bit too much fine a point on it.
What? She turned Dad against me.
I don't think it's just the concept of divorce. Maybe it's because she liked your ex-wife. I don't know. I really don't know. What I know is that she really didn't like you.
I know she really didn't like me, and I can't figure out why.
Yeah.
Well, I can, but I'm not going to go into that because I'm a nice guy at some level, apparently, not at her level.
Yeah.
So,
but I just needed a place in the country to go, and this was a place to go.
and I'm still saying you're a great guy for going out there and being there for them.
Yeah. I mean, that certainly was part of it. It wasn't random. But, but it was not.
Just take the compliment and don't dig into it.
Okay, Jay, thanks a lot.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I am a wonderful guy.
At the bottom of it, you're a nice guy. You're a wonderful guy.
I really am.
So, and I'm glad to get to know this person.
Because you didn't know that about me before.
No, I know you were okay. I just didn't know the depths of how okay you were. So, and it's nice to know. It really is. So, you're a wonderful guy.
All right. So, how are you doing?
Yeah. So, I'm in the pain. I'm in the pain period now where stuff hurts. It's starting to hurt if I don't take my pain pills. Yesterday was a very bad day. So you know
because you
like,
didn't take your pill, or it just didn't.
Well, okay. Well, here's the deal. So the pain pill.
See, I am paying attention. Sorry.
Yes, the pain.
It's a little too much.
No, you just want to get out of being praised. The pain pill.
That and the booger wall.
The booger wall. And after all, it's his booger wall. It's
what song is that?
Wonderwall.
Okay, you keep talking. I'll
by
find
Oasis. So where was I? Oh, I know where I was. So anyway, I forgot where I was.
You were trying to skate around.
It hurts.
Pain pills.
Yeah. So the problem is this: the pain pills constipate me, and so.
Oh yeah. Have you had a poop?
Yes, I had one 3 days ago. That was what I'd call a normal poop, but then I haven't had much since.
But it had been weeks. Or days, maybe not weeks.
It had been days. It had been like 5 or 6 days. Now I'm on another 5 or 6.
Your generic guitar opening.
Talking up the post here. 3, 2, 1.
Today is gonna be the day that they're gonna throw it back to you. By now,
back to you, Jay.
should have somehow realized what you gotta do. I don't believe that.
We're going to have a hard time figuring out who's going to share all the revenue from this show.
I know, right? Yeah. So anyway, that's Wonderwall. So what was I going to say about that? Oh, the pain. So the pain. So it becomes, okay, do I want to poop? Is it hurting worse down there?
Okay, so
getting
the
all
pain pills
compacted
were
and not
constipating
pooping?
you.
Yes. Or do I want to stop taking the pain pills and take the constipation stuff? Because apparently the really powerful constipation stuff isn't working through the pain pills for me. And so, I mean, I can literally sit there and mix Miralax into a glass of prune juice and drink that while eating prunes, and it has no impact whatsoever. Nothing.
Impact. He said impact.
And so anyway, so over the weekend I got upped nausea pills. I got new nausea pills and stuff, I guess. Was it over the weekend? I don't remember. It's hard.
Today is Sunday.
Melissa has a whole log of when I'm supposed to take what. And then she writes down what I actually take.
At this point, you are now 15 minutes overtime, and I'm going to get blamed for it.
Yeah, you are. And so the deal is this. It's like, so now I'm sitting here going, well, maybe I just won't take pain pills today, and then I'll be able to poop, and then I'll go back to the pain pills. Well, it didn't really
You
work
pooped,
out too well.
but the pain hit.
I didn't poop that much yesterday. It was very little.
So you're still stopped up.
It was about a 3-incher. So that's about it. So, it's about all I could do.
TMI.
And so now it's been another 48 hours or so, almost. And so whatever. So
You've taken the pain pill now?
yes, because
Okay.
it started hurting so bad yesterday.
Okay.
I had to start taking
And the pain is
pill.
in your gut.
So yes. So finding out what it would feel like if I wasn't taking the pain medicine was
Which is the same as you
ouch.
had been feeling for a couple of weeks before that.
Worse. It's like 10 times worse now. So
Okay.
I know. So this is like, okay, can we get started with some kind of treatment as opposed to just
Palliative care.
yeah.
Yeah. So what is this? What is the status of treatment?
So the status of treatment is this: the place I want to end up going is Northwestern Hospital.
Do we need to bring anybody up to speed at this point? You have tumors on your pancreas, liver, and a couple lymph nodes.
Yes.
Okay. At
And then something to do
stage
with
4, it's called pretty bad.
Yeah, and something to do with my thyroid, which we're going to look at Tuesday. And then I get the port installed for the chemo on Thursday, but there's no chemo scheduled yet. They're just getting it done while I can here easily, they come up with a plan. So I'm being treated by 2 oncologists here in Champaign, Carle Hospital. And they know and are in touch with the doctors at Northwestern Hospital who think it would be a good idea to be treated there, and they think it would be too, the doctors here. They got no issue with it.
Is that associated with Northwestern University?
I guess it is.
think
Yeah,
it
it's
is.
a research,
Yeah.
a teaching hospital, so yeah.
So the hospital's
So-
in Chicago, downtown.
Yeah. It's downtown.
University
Yeah.
is up in Evanston.
Yeah. And they have campus downtown too, but yeah. If you know where the Allerton Hotel with the Tip Top Tap is, it's like a block from that. That's where I stayed while Melissa was being treated. So anyway, the whole thing is hanging in the balance. They did call Wednesday. Northwestern called and said, we're going to need access to your medical records. We may have to get you to sign something if whatever. And I said, well, I've told everybody just give you access. And then we didn't hear anything back. They said it would be this week or maybe by the end of the week. So Friday, we didn't hear anything as of the end of the day Friday when they might have gotten back to us. So tomorrow today's going to be a day off when I get done here. I'm just going to take like 40 pain pills and not watch the Johnny Cash movie. God, that was awful. That Joaquin Phoenix one. He was good, but the movie is the movie was well done, I'll say, but it was not the subject matter you want to be into when you're not feeling good. So anyway,
I did stop paying attention while I was dialing up this.
Yeah.
And then we talk about the movie.
Tap. So the Tip Top Tap is the bar way at the top of and the little sign used to light up Tip Top Tap and then flash Tip Top Tap and then
probably still does.
Tap. I think it does.
Gino's East Pizza. Not too far away.
Not too far. No, it's in a good neighborhood there. So, and then there's a really cool building that I think it used to be called the Palmolive Building. Anyway, there's some old architecture around.
And by the way, $135 a night. That sounds pretty cheap.
It is cheap. And then that's not even the hospital rate. If you have somebody staying at the Northwestern Hospital, I think I paid $85 a night. So, is it a little rough around the edges? Maybe. Am I a little rough around the edges? Maybe.
Just check for bed bugs. That's all. So,
well, I do. I know how to do that. So, and because the places I stay are kind of like that. Congress Hotel is another one. The old Congress Plaza Hotel, the Congress Hotel. Downtown is another old one they probably used to be on par with the Palmer House and all those, but it became a little frayed around the edges. They've redone some of it, but it just depends on what room you get in and stuff and what your standards are. But it was cool to stay there. And
okay, so there's your hospital.
Stayed there. So there's the hospital. And then
it's a big piece of empty ground there.
Yes.
Must be a park.
So it is. It's like a big soccer field park. So if you go across it to your right toward the lake, there's a really cool building right there, that real tall one at the end of it that's really cool to look at. Old. There it is. And I can't remember, was that the Palmolive Building or the Palmolive Building was something else, but this was some building you'd recognize. Anyway, so it was cool to be able to see that out of the hospital room and then see the lake behind it.
Dad's office was somewhere up here.
It was close to there, 840 North Lake Shore.
Yeah, it's one of these buildings here, assuming it's even still there. Well, there's 900, 910.
It is still there, but it doesn't look like it did. It used to have that bluish glass.
Yeah.
Oh, look.
I think you're being told it's time for your pill.
Hey, it's pill time.
You want to go take your pill? You want to wrap the show, or do you want?
Well, do you got something to do for the next 10 minutes?
I have nothing planned, and that doesn't mean that I can't just sit here and talk.
Talk amongst yourselves. Hold on, I'll give you something to look at while you talk. And a rather new acquisition. There.
So a new. An on-the-air light. All right, we just have to get it set up so that it can light up.
It's not set up so I can light it up yet, but it will be.
Yep, and you put your headphones down so I can hear myself. Test. I can hear myself.
What?
I can hear myself through your headphones.
Cool. Talk to yourself.
Yep, talking to myself. And Jay's on the air light. Fade him down a little bit so that it doesn't echo that much. So the guilty verdict, was that one of the things that you are going to always remember where you were when you learned about the guilty verdict? You know, there's things like, for me, this old, I remember where I was when I heard that President Kennedy had been shot. I was in junior high school, walking. What I remember, a little snapshot memory, a little very short movie clip memory, and I don't trust those memories very much. But what I remember was I was in junior high school, and I was, for some reason, walking down the hall. I wasn't in class. And then suddenly, there were TV sets everywhere. And this was 1964, I guess, before TV sets were fairly ubiquitous in classrooms. We didn't have television instruction in any form back then. But suddenly there were televisions everywhere, And so I remember watching the news that they put on everywhere in the school. Are you back already? I barely got into my story. You can't hear me yet.
Go ahead. I'll listen to your story.
Yeah. Well, I was just wondering if people are remember where they were when they heard the guilty verdict.
Oh, yeah.
And I was
Totally.
starting to recount the things that I remember from my long lifetime where I was, and maybe the first one. The first one was probably John Glenn's Orbit. I had brought the transistor radio to class, and turned it up, and we listened to the news broadcast of John Glenn's Orbit, and
Pain pill. Okay.
and then Kennedy's assassination. But I was sitting right here editing the video of our Hawaii trip, which I'm a long way from getting completed. And I wasn't watching the news, but my phone binged and I saw the announcement. So I rapidly moved over to television. First watched MSNBC and watched them count 31, 2 guilty, 3. And then because I do everything on YouTube TV on DVR. So I've got everything in the world is being recorded for me on DVR. I really wanted to watch Fox News's broadcast of it because I thought that would be funny, and indeed it was. It sounded a lot like this. Once upon a time, it didn't sound like that. I used to be a radio, but I like this so much. It's just the way it's put together. Just another. What's crackling?
Judge Merchan is back on the bench.
You're crackling,
there are
Jay.
guilty verdicts from our producer
Waiting
inside.
phone.
We're hearing guilty on 1 through 5. 1 through 12, we have now.
Okay, so
13,
where were you
14
when you heard the guilty verdict thing?
15
I was gonna
guilty.
show
We're
you.
up to 18 counts. 19 guilty. Remember, we have 34 here. 20 guilty. We are now 24 counts in, all guilty, up to 26 guilty. But we are now up to 31 counts guilty out of 34. 32 guilty, also coming in from inside the courtroom.
Okay, what am I
33
looking
and
at?
34. They're saying guilty on
So you'd be
all
looking at me,
34 charges.
trying to
We
convince
have the
my
reality
grandson.
now of a former
Oh,
president
yes,
for the
that
first
picture.
time being convicted on
It's a
34
little blown
criminal
out, but
counts.
Hey, click here to subscribe to.
Do you like that little production there?
Yes, I did. With our favorite guy. Trying to convince my grandson that history was being made, and he's like, whatever. And he's just playing with his Legos or whatever he was playing with at the time.
I'm doing better keeping my mouth shut.
And then
when
my
I'm-
wife is, take your meds. That was the scenario at our house yesterday. No, she was watching along with me, and we were cheering as that was going. Yeah.
Okay, I'm about ready to show the picture to the world in a way that
there
they
we
can
go.
actually see it.
Yeah. Yeah.
You look like an old man.
Well, I am looking older.
Yeah.
I'm almost 70 years old, for God's sake.
Hey, oh, this doesn't work. Yeah, stop it. Facebook does a terrible job of letting you zoom in on pictures.
Yeah, I know.
So that is JJ.
Yeah, that's JJ.
Young Jay, who you're getting as much of as you can before his folks
move
him up to Elgin.
Yep.
All right.
Margot will still be around. So here's another thing. This is another thing when you have a prognosis like mine, is I'm sitting there going, what do I need and what do I don't need in my life? Because there's a yard sale, a big community yard sale that comes up in a week. And I'm having to realize that I don't need 20 pairs of wingtip shoes anymore.
I don't have any wingtip shoes, but.
So if you come by my house next Saturday, I think it's Friday and Saturday, you can buy some wingtip shoes, a lot of which have
Size
very low
13.
mileage on them. 12. So this is my favorite pair of shoes, and I'll be parting with them because I'm not going to need to wear them anymore. So
Well,
these are Florsheim Imperials, which have a
The bottom-
Goodyear welt.
the bottom doesn't look too scuffed.
No, and has a Goodyear welt, and they've got the real Florsheim cedar shoe trees.
You're keeping shoe trees in your shoes to keep them in good shape.
It's Goodyear welted, which means it can be resoled. The stitching, you just unstitch it, and they can restitch it on a Goodyear. It's made on a Goodyear last, and it's a real sole hammered in. And it's the old,
shoe terminology just a little too well.
So, so I got these in this nice color, which I think is nice. I like these a lot.
Hold them back up again. Let me analyze the color.
Rest, but well, it's kind of a buff color. I don't know what you call it.
Pale, not quite yellow.
It's not. Yeah, it's kind of a little lighter, yellower than tan, but it's a real nice leather. It's real nice. So anyway, I'll have.
And if you happen to wear
shoes like this,
size 12, I'm working my way up to size 12. I used to be like a 9.5. I'm 11.5 now. My feet are getting
gravity.
longer.
Yeah, it's gravity.
Yes, and I used to be 5'11.5, and I'm now 5'10", maybe 5'10.5.
That's why we don't have hair on top of our head, and it all grows out our ears and nose. Yep. Gravity, and won't go to the top anymore. So this is representative.
You only have
of what
so
you
much
can find.
testosterone in your body. Some people use it to grow hair.
So what would you pay for a pair? You might not pay it, but
would pay a dime.
If you wanted a pair of dress shoes, good quality dress shoes.
Yeah, probably these days. Well, for one thing, let's put it on a scale. At one end of the scale is Golden Trump sneakers for $400.
Yes.
All right, so they got to be worth more than that.
I'm going to get $400 for a pair of shoes. You could buy them brand new for $250.
If you put "Make America Great Again" on the back, you can get $500 for them.
Well, these are the Kenmore line from Florsheim, but they don't make this one anymore. This is an old school. They don't make this one. You can get burgundy or black Kenmore still, but they're $250. But you're not going to find this color in amongst them.
Okay. So that could make them more valuable.
Mm-hmm.
And you get Jay's patented foot stink in them.
You stink? No, they smell like leather. They smell really good.
Well, maybe your feet smell like leather.
Are you saying my feet stink?
I'm postulating I can't get anything over the internet.
Okay, well, hold on a second. I got to go grab something. Talk to yourself again. What were you talking about before?
So I the Kennedy thing was one where I remember where I was, and there are probably a few more. I remember my memory is faulty. Doesn't work very well, but I remember where I was on 9/11. I was at my in-laws in Charlotte, and I think I had dialed up AOL because my email, everybody else was asleep. So I dialed up AOL on the computer to get my mail, and they had a little box with the headline going on, something about World Trade Center airplanes hitting it. And I think when I dialed in, it was after the first plane had hit and before the second plane had hit. So that's another place I remember where I was. No, I don't think I'm going to remember long-term where I was, just because when Trump was guilty, even as significant as that was, I don't think that's going to stick in my memory that long. But it's just a happy time now.
So, more Florsheim Imperials.
Hold them up again. Okay, got you full screen now. Oh, they're
Florsheim
in a bag.
Imperial. Yeah, nice soft bag. I keep them in those. Well, when you're a high-powered executive like I was,
you probably own multiple suits as well.
Oh yeah, I'll show you those. You can come buy some suits.
So Jay's business wardrobe is going to be up for sale at the garage sale.
Look at these.
Oh. You got to hold them up there. Oh, there you go. Oh. Now that is a shoe. Ladies and gentlemen, that is a shoe.
What do you think? I might keep these. I might want to keep these. I love these.
I got to move away from the microphone for a moment.
Okay. I'm just going to show some more shoes. So I got those. Okay, what else? I don't even know what I got.
I had to go get the shoe that I wear
All the time. Your one shoe.
all the
And
time.
then, I don't even know if I've worn these. Look at that. This is the power shoe. The power business shoe.
They all look the same to me except for the color.
Well, this is a stylistic one. This is what they call the long wing brogue. This is the shorter one because it's not the long wing because the thing doesn't go all the way back. So this is what, the gunboats, they call them the gunboats. That's the gunboat. This is a more stylish, newer one. Again, not available anymore. Discontinued by Florsheim. So I got those.
Does Florsheim still exist?
Yeah. It's kind of like it exists, but it's not exactly what it was. But the Imperial shoes are still good. They make some cheaper ones. Oh, yeah. I got some of those. Clogs.
Crocs.
Yeah.
Are
Crocs.
these official Crocs? Because for a while,
Yeah, those are official.
yeah,
they
these
look
are
official.
These are official Crocs. Yeah. For a while, I was wearing a like a $3 imitation
A
that
knockoff?
they were a knockoff that they were selling at Harris Teeter, and these still aren't expensive, but they're
They're like $20
$20
though.
or so. And inside of it is an insole. This is it's actually really worn out. Orthotic, because I was Cindy and I were at the end of our first river cruise down the Rhine from
Yeah.
Amsterdam to Basel. Then we took the high-speed train to Paris and a high-speed train through the Channel to London. So we spent a couple of days walking around. Well, every day we would spend walking around places. But in Paris, we walked around a lot. And by the time we got to London, we were walking around a lot, and I was going lame. I was limping. It hurt. I was wearing adequate shoes. I thought they were supposed to be pretty darn good, but
Yeah.
they weren't great. And it wasn't going away. And so
Did you
got
have
back.
a touch of the plantar fasciitis?
Probably, yeah, something like that. So I went to the foot doctor, and he showed me some exercises to do, some stretching stuff to do. But he said, you really need orthotics. So I got some custom orthotics, but they're in one pair of shoes, and the rest of them just have the power step thing. And that has helped. I can walk around now without. I thought I was going lame permanently. I was never going to walk right again, but
No.
back to being okay.
Good. I do exercises for that every day because I had the plantar fasciitis at one point, and I couldn't wear boat shoes, which I love. But so I started doing these exercises, and it's basically stretching.
But you don't wear the orthotic.
No.
Yeah, that seems to have helped.
Yeah,
But
it would.
even in a pair of Crocs,
Yeah.
and apparently
Crocs are
I need
Crocs
to-
are actually very good for your feet. They're supportive in the right places.
Yeah, they said do not walk around in just socks or bare feet.
Right. Which makes you go, well, what did people do before we had shoes? And what did cavemen do? Did they just walk around with sore feet all the time? What?
First of all, they died before they were 25,
Oh,
so didn't have to worry about that. We've got all these things going wrong because we have exceeded the manufacturer's original specifications.
so I shouldn't feel bad that,
Wow, you
I'm
already-
wearing out.
Yeah, you've
You've really beat the odds.
close. I think that the American male life expectancy is still only around 79 or 80. Do I have to look that up?
So I got another 10 years to go. I'm going to figure out how to stay alive for 10 years.
This is an average. Life expectancy by country. Let's just go life expectancy tables. Actuary. Oh, this is from the Social Security Administration. So you know this is going to be right.
Deep state. Can't believe them.
So what is the next step for you? You get the port, and they haven't.
Well, I'm just waiting for them to read my medical records and get back to us. And we're going to call them Monday, tomorrow. We'll get the thing going again and find out where we stand, and then hopefully it will be. And we got to watch out because, as I said, we found a couple of doctors and practices that'll take our insurance at Northwestern, but getting it administered might be a cost that is not covered. So we got to watch out and figure that out. And if that's the case, then we may get the chemo done here, which would actually be cool because I would be home.
But they would mix up the formula up there.
Or they could mix the formula up here. They have the stuff. They told us they could
determine the formula because it's a custom mix for everybody.
Yeah, and they'll work in Congress with in collaboration.
They work in
with,
Congress. Nothing's going to get done if they're in Congress.
That's why I changed it. They'll work in collaboration with Northwestern and here, and then I could actually do the chemo here, either through Carl or Christy. Not OSF because they won't take my insurance. So anyway, so there you go.
Okay, you want to look at the tables here?
Yeah.
Somebody born today. Male, life expectancy of 73.54. That's younger than I thought it would be, which means I'm already older than that. That's somebody born today, though. And for a female, 70.
Then go down to our age.
Yes, let's go down. It's going to, keep going up because you've already made it so far. So, this must be how much you have left to go. Let me go. Life expectancy. It stops saying. It never does say what here in this column, life expectancy column, is not how old you will be. It's how many more years you have left to go. Now,
okay.
Now I understand.
If I was born 1954, how many years would I have to go?
For somebody 70 years old, you would have 13.69 years left to go.
What?
Not, and this is not you particularly. It's which means
but I guess
83, which would be 83.
And
for me at 75, it would just be 85.
So 85, 83, but if you were born today, you're only expected to live a lot shorter?
Yes. Yeah, well, that would be normal anyway, because if you've already made it this far, you've beat some odds. And so your odds get greater that you're going to hang on a little bit longer.
But I thought that we had all this medicine and everything else that was helping us cure everything and live longer, but apparently we're not.
Well, if I'm remembering my news, our life expectancy has actually started to decline again. And let's go back. This is a chart from 2021. But it's what they're currently using. Let's go back to 2019 and remember the male life expectancy was 73.54.
For somebody born today.
73. So let's go back a couple years.
10 years shorter than.
Yeah. A couple of years ago, it was 76.22. It's shortened up by 3 years.
It's 3 years.
Yeah. And why is that? COVID.
Oh.
COVID and the vaccine deniers. Now,
yeah, that's a really good point.
I'm going to
because I've so forgotten about COVID.
I'm going to say that. Now let me type in why
and see if it says that.
Life. Why? Google's autocomplete. I put why is life, and it wants me to say so hard. Why is life so hard? Expectancy, it says increase. It autocomplete wants to say increasing, but that's not. It's decreasing.
Google's optimistic.
And let's see. Why is Harvard Health? That sounds good. Why life expectancy in the U.S. is falling? What was it I said?
73 now.
No, what did I say the reason was?
Oh, COVID.
Okay, are you ready? Are you ready for this?
Yeah. Are you ready for this?
COVID-19 and drug overdoses
Oh.
are the biggest contributors to the falling life expectancy, according to Harvard.
Wow.
Harvard. Park the car.
I believe in Harvard, man. I got a friend from back in the high school days that is up in the ranks at Harvard.
An
So
elitist, an elitist Ivy League East Coast University.
Who played Helen Keller in college. So I'm into this now.
I think Helen Keller would be a little easier than usual because no lines.
Yeah,
But
you still got to act it out, so it might be harder.
Okay, yeah. I'm just being a broadcasting jerk.
You really are. You're just being a jerk. So, but anyway.
It's my old morning zoo experience.
Morning zoo. There you go. So anyway, I'm into this now. We're into life expectancies. We're into all this stuff. So
a little more morning zoo here. Let's.
Oh God.
There it is.
Folks, he has to get this all out because he didn't get to do it when he was younger.
Morning, everybody. Good morning. It's a beautiful morning here in Lake Havasu City.
68 degrees at 11:31.
where we were not allowed to say it's going to be hot unless it's going to be over 110.
I guess I was a morning disc jockey too.
Below
And I did
110.
news.
Below 110, it was just warm. All right, so
okay.
So
68 degrees. It's 6:28.
Yeah.
Mike Powell has news right after Fleetwood Mac on 1340 WJPF.
So they're telling me I might make it another 10 years, and even though I had cancer, right now they're sending me back into the average age pool, of people. They're telling me that I am no more likely to contract it again than anyone is.
Well, I'd look forward to that.
Yeah, it'll be nice for you, but your starting point with the cancer is a lot worse than mine.
Oh, yeah, there is.
Yeah,
that.
you needed that reminder, didn't you?
I got the pan can.
Yeah.
Oh yes, we pan can. Yes, we pan can.
Yeah. So they'll be adjusting your outlook as things go, but we'll see. We're living life. We're living life today.
I'm optimistic that pain pill's already kicking in, man. That's good stuff. That's powerful stuff.
The one you just took moments ago.
Yeah. Yeah.
Could be a
15
little
minutes ago.
placebo effect. It could be the pain pill.
Or it could just be the dulling effect you have on me.
If that's the case, I will keep it up.
I'm going to try not to go work in the yard today. I do have Milorganite to put down, and since Corey mowed the lawn, I could put it down today.
What is Milorganite?
I explained this to you. It's sewage from Milwaukee.
Oh yeah, you did. I remember. I didn't remember the name.
You fertilize your lawn with it.
Yeah, and we discussed. Well, why don't you just use what comes out of your septic tank?
Right.
Why is Milwaukee sewage better than Champaign sewage? Your own personal sewage.
I could actually probably do that because I do have that little pump that I bought when I had to pump the crawl space out one
We've
time.
also got that leaching field.
Yeah, the leach field. It stays real green over the leach field. That's where I plant the zinnias. They grow like 8 feet tall. It's awesome.
They like. I mean, it's that is.
It's legit.
Yeah, it's
Too legit to quit.
I've lost the word once again. The vocabulary of my failing brain. The stuff that you feed plants, plant food, fertilizer. That's what it is.
That's a hard one.
Which is like 98% of the show.
Fertilizer, dung.
Yep.
So, what else is on your agenda today? I have to write invoices for work I completed now that it's the new month. I got to remember to do that. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 figures on the line.
Whoa. Is that each side of the decimal point?
No, that's there's 6 if you count the ones on the right.
Okay. Well, that's impressive.
$1,750 worth of work recently.
I have to shoot a little video of a demonstration of something for the ham radio show that I'll do at 6 o'clock tonight.
Nice.
So it's a double show day.
So I'm going to write these invoices and get them ready to mail, and then try not to go work in the yard because I want to get my pain level back in balance after my whatever. The experiment that didn't work yesterday and left me in a lot of pain into the night. It was not a good night.
Okay, that was the experiment we described a little bit earlier today about.
Yeah, so we go pain on a 0 to 10.
One med out for another in an attempt to get your body to do something else.
Yeah. So we go 0 to 10 with the pain. And yesterday I got up to, I want to say I was in the 8.5 to 9 range. So, and last night, and then we got back on the pain pills overnight. So it got down probably in the 6s. And then I think let's see right now. I'd say we're about 4.5 right now. So,
yep.
Which is, as I describe it, I can live with it, but I wouldn't want to.
Yeah.
2 is
how low does it go? How low?
Well, 0 would be pain free.
No, but how low do you go?
1.5 to 2.
Yep.
Ever.
Background level threshold.
Yeah, that's my bottom line is 1.5 to 2 ever. I'm never totally pain free.
Testing because my doctor, my neck has been bothering me lately. If I turn all the way, but today it's actually not too bad.
I got no problem with the neck. I got no issue with the neck.
Harvard is thanking me for visiting. Okay, well, you're welcome. And
Harvard.
The other thing I'm curious about is our bandwidth use here.
My square.
Out of our massive 600 megabit.
Nobody's using it.
We're floating in the 8 to 9 megabit range of what I'm streaming out, but part of that is going to YouTube. Only about 4.5 megabits going to YouTube, and another 4.5 or so going to you. So, not using very much of my 600 megabit symmetrical available.
Just going to see what happens if I do this. The Jay and Gary Show.
The Jay and Gary Show.
Live.
You're watching us.
I am watching us.
YouTube video podcast audio the way.
So what happens?
Don't talk over the jingle.
The Jay and Gary Show.
Oh, I like this one.
We have so little to actually do. We're just replaying ourselves now.
No, I was going to ask you what it does to the bandwidth, what it does to the stuff.
What happens?
That I logged into it. Does it change your numbers that you were looking at?
No, that's because it's not peer to peer from here. It's me to Zoom and then or me to YouTube, and then YouTube streams it out. They're not demanding more from me just because we have 1 million people in the audience.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they are. it says there's 3 watching, so it was 1, and then you started watching. That would have brought it up to 2, but now there's 3. I don't know who the third one is.
Who else is watching? Who are you? Can they do like one of those little like things and it'll pop up? And
There's a live chat they could join in on.
Oh, is there?
Yeah. Type something in the chat.
Well, I'm not on there anymore. I turned it off.
You know what's still sitting here on my table, on my studio desk?
What?
The tooth.
Oh, gross.
The sample tooth.
You're so gross.
Cindy also thought that was inappropriate for a broadcast.
Mine is
But now I can
still
stick
in my mouth.
I can stick my tongue back in the hole. The sample tooth.
Okay, so we got...
Which feels weird. It's because it's the first time I've had a hole in my mouth like that since I was a kid. It brings back memories of sticking your tongue in the gum when
your tooth was coming out.
Yeah.
Remember when it was just hinged on a little part and you couldn't keep your tongue out of it and your tongue would get bloody because you had to constantly on it, and it would hinge
like
on
that, like that, and then you finally went and
snap,
pulled it out.
And then you sneezed at the same time and it went back and came out your nose.
Did not do that.
Oh. Do you know that you can do that? You can put stuff in your mouth and blow it out through your nose. Now we're back down to 2. We scared off whoever that was.
So 2 is just you and me. Yeah. Number 3 went away.
So
I was doing a show last week, the Ham Radio Show.
Mm-hmm.
And because we didn't really have that much to talk about, it was a subject that was important, but we didn't have that much to say about it because we had no expertise. So I published the Zoom link on YouTube and on Facebook to invite anybody in the audience to join in. And one guy did. And then and I assigned my co-host to monitor the waiting room when somebody logged in to a waiting room, and he could text with him and say, who the heck are you? But he got into a discussion with the other guest who had joined in on the Zoom, and I was looking over at the Zoom panel and saw that there was somebody in the waiting room and thought, oh, I was excited. There's somebody else who wants to join in. And I clicked to let them in without any vetting. And yes, it was a Zoom bomb. It was a pornographic Zoom bomb.
Ooh, a Zoom bomb.
Yep.
A Zoom bomb.
Yep.
Porno Zoom bomb.
The picture did not make it on air because I used this special integration between Zoom and the broadcast program I use called Wirecast, where individual things show up and not the Zoom gallery, but a little bit of the audio did, and the MF word got through.
Oh, no. Massey Ferguson?
Yes. And the audience at the time was about 30 or so. And heart attacks were happening among these old hams having that word hit their ears.
Mofo.
Yep. Mighty fine.
Well, I can't help them.
All right.
If they can't go with the young lingo, if they can't keep up with the lingo of the times.
Now there's 4 people watching.
Really?
Yeah, don't know how that happened. Whoever you are, you're really late. But I allow the dial back to the beginning of the show. You can.
So how can they?
You can start us over.
How can they?
The earlier part of the show is much better than this.
How do they say who they are?
Oh, it's Mike S. Hi, Jay and Gary.
Mike Sola? Is that Mike Sola?
I can't see half of it. It's Mike Savage.
Oh, Mike Savage.
Enjoying the show.
Mike Savage is awesome.
My phone has these stupid icons that you can put on there that send hearts and other symbols, but it covers up the text. There we go. I can hold it horizontal. Horizontal polarization of phones is unappreciated.
So Mike Savage is one of the best public radio managers in the country.
What station?
WEKU in Lexington, Kentucky. And
Halfway
he is-
between you and me.
Yeah, he is just phenomenal. He's
A little
got,
closer to you.
they got repeater stations all over the state of Kentucky, and he was the one who paved the way and got me on the NPR board.
Ah, cool.
He's still on the NPR board. He was off for a while, now he's back on, but he's phenomenal voice, and a lot of what the stuff that you see that's going to be happening and have seen that's good with NPR, as opposed to all the stuff that, by the way, you don't hear much about that anymore, do you? Anyway, Mike is...
Well, for one thing, the news moves on.
Yeah,
And,
news moved
and
on.
we've had a few big breaking stories. So
True. But
that was a relatively minor story.
anyway, but a lot of the good
Fox
stuff
News will
that's
be back
happening.
on it. Don't worry.
Hey, will you let me finish?
After they get done with Hunter Biden's laptop.
Hey, don't poop out. My COVID test expired last year, but they both said COVID. So what? Anyway,
Where are you seeing that?
it's a private message. So anyway,
Yeah,
so Mike,
I
a lot of
had the COVID shot before trip to Hawaii and the Democratic state convention that I sat in a couple weeks ago. And I did not get COVID from any of those. And a couple of previous trips, I came back with COVID on all of them. So the COVID shot gives you brief near immunity.
well, you
but it
still
doesn't-
got to take precautions.
Yeah. For these, I took none.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah. But then after
wild
that,
and crazy guy.
yeah, well, like I said, you
So
get, you get
the-
a little immunity for a while, but it's not 6 months worth. It's maybe a month.
So, Mike,
no
the good
guarantees.
stuff that's happening at NPR is largely what Mike's been pushing. The Mike Savage agenda.
What would you say the good stuff is?
Well, the good stuff is getting good people on the board of directors, hiring a good CEO, staying
What's
away
that?
from steering the direction in the right direction. Financially, fiduciarily, is that it? And not editorially. The board doesn't do the editorial, but just keeping the company in good shape and making sure the signal gets out there and gets out there to the right people the right way and doesn't cost stations way too much money. So there's a lot of stuff that goes on. It's not just a newsroom that sits there and thinks up bad things to say about the president. That's not at all. And if you know how business or a network operates, that's not how it is. So anyway, there's a lot of things that have to happen between here and there to get it all out. And anyway, Mike is the impressive thing about Mike is this, and I knew him before we were on the board.
How did he get
Mike,
on the board?
so he was a fighter, and he petitioned his way on. So NPR would put out their slate, and anybody else who wanted to be running, if there were, like, let's say 2 board seats opening up, and NPR would slate its 2, and anybody else could petition their way onto there if you get a certain number of managers in the system to sign your petition. And that's how he got on.
And who decides who votes?
The managers
member
vote.
stations?
Member stations get a vote. Each member station gets a vote. So, yeah.
Okay,
And
so he's still there
In my case, I was a slated candidate.
because he put you up for it.
No, the governance committee basically decides on the slate, and he recommended me for it. Yeah.
Okay,
The governance committee does in the end, but he convinced the members of the governance committee that I'd be good. And I was known. It wasn't that I wasn't, known or anything, but it was. Would they have slated me if he hadn't brought it up? Probably not, because there's a lot of really good people. So, And I think I was a good member. I did 6 years. You can do 6 years straight. You can sit back for a term and then go back. But
So it's term limited, but you can come back.
yeah, you have to sit out. And since I retired, I was done. I waited to retire till my term was done, till my second 3-year term was done. And so since I'm retired, I could go back as what they call not a member station member, but a public member. But I don't have the money that you have to contribute to NPR. When you're a board member, you have to make an annual meaningful contribution, meaningful to you, so it doesn't devastate you, but it's
Hurts a little
more than
bit.
nothing.
Give till it hurts.
Yeah, and I gave him $1,000 a year. So. But there are members who on the board who give a lot more than that. 25 or so is probably a good number for a public member to give. There have been a couple of public members. Well, there was one public member who gave $10 million. So, can you imagine having $10 million to give like that? That would be awesome.
Nope.
I don't think I've even made $10 million in my whole life. Add it all up. If I made $10 million.
No, most of us have made $1 million or $2 million across our lifetime, and people think, "Well, that's impressive." I was on a podcast panel, and at that point, I'd been doing the ham radio show for about 10 years, and in that 10 years, it was funded by individual contributions. It was the NPR PBS model.
Hey,
and across that time, it had accumulated about $10,000 a year. So in 10 years, that's $100,000. And so they were talking about how much their shows had made. And most of these guys had only been doing a show for a year or two. I say, well, I've made $100,000 doing my show. And they go, whoa, dudes, that was a full-time job at $10,000 a year. That is well below poverty wages.
That's not doing great.
No. But when you say $100,000, people say, well, that's something. No, it isn't over a period of time. And over a lifetime, $1 million is nothing.
I wonder how much I've made in my life.
Ask the Social Security Administration. They know.
Well, but I worked for 15 years outside of the Social Security Administration.
Then they don't know.
Then they don't know.
Yep. All right. Are we done?
We might be done, although Mike Savage is still watching, so we should do something to entertain Mike Savage with.
He can go back and watch the beginning of the show because he came in late.
By the way, it's certainly not the Mike Savage that you hear on right-wing radio stations.
Oh, yeah, that Mike Savage. Yeah.
It's not that Mike Savage.
Because he'd be able to give many more than $10 million to NPR. But he wouldn't. All right.
But he wouldn't. But, yeah. I'd work for Mike Savage. Mike Savage and I did work together raising money for public radio when I was at WILL, and he was basically putting together a public radio station at Kankakee Community College in Kankakee from scratch, from less than scratch. And I was trying to help him however I could. And then, so I would go up there and do pledge drives with him, and he would come down and do pledge drives with us. Working together to make it happen.
Takes a village.
And then he ran the stations at Purdue, and now he's down in Lexington. He was in Georgia. He's had a really good career, and he still does. Is that it? Are we done?
It has been Sleepy J and Gary's Guilty Pleasure, the Jay and Gary Show, episode 12. I'm the older brother, Gary.
And I'm the younger brother, Jay, and I'm going to go eat some ham and eggs.
Is your diet expanding? Range of things you can eat?
Yeah.
You've been really limited for a while because everything hurt.
Well, because if I take the pain pills, then I can eat more, which I should, because I was losing weight again, but now I'm not. I'm just sitting at 210.
Okay.
So it's looking good. So next time I'll show you some suits. Although this will be after the yard sale, so you won't be able to see them.
whatever you got left.
But again,
if you live in the Champaign area,
you could buy these shoes probably for what you never said. How much? What would you?
Well, I mean, to be realistic, at a yard sale, they're probably going to go for $20.
Really? I was going to say $5.
Maybe $5. We had a ladder. We had a 12-foot ladder, I think, maybe a 12, 15-foot. Perfect condition. It was $200 when I bought it new. And we put it up at a yard sale. I put $50 on it, and Cindy let it go for $35. Somebody got they got a deal. All right.
Well, I'll see. I was going to put $2 on the suits and $5 on the shoes.
You're just being generous to your community.
Well, maybe I'll put $2 on the shirts, $5 on the suits, and $10 on the shoes. And then I'll make like $1,000 still.
The Jay and Gary Show has been brought to you by Jay's Yard Sale.
Come on down to Jay's Yard Sale next Friday and Saturday.
Is it a community yard sale or just a...
Yeah, it's all Rolling Acres, the whole subdivision.
Okay,
so you can find it, corner of Duncan and Curtis.
A big Champagne audience. Head to Jay's Yard Sale.
Head to my yard sale. See you there. And
that is a hint. Over.
And out.
And out. Bye, everybody.